Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Elizibar. We're going to do a review of LeFay issue 1 and 2. I gave a really, thorough, in-depth kind of review last night on stream. I did it live, and then YouTube decided that it wasn't suitable for community guidelines, and then I won that appeal, and now it's marked 18 plus. I don't know what I did, except I gave a thumbs up on my webcam. I guess that's the bad thing. I'm not really sure. So anyway, I'm going to avoid giving a thumbs up on the webcam. I'm just going to talk about this book. Before I do that, I do need to do disclaimer type text. I hate having to preface the video with all this stuff, but here we go. Uh, I did not back the campaign for this. I was asked by Marcel Dupre, hope I'm pronouncing your name right, to do reviews of this. We were hooked up by Guido Martinez, I believe is his name, on Twitter. And I was like, sure, let's do it. And Marcel was like, sure, let's do it. And so here we are together. I'm not going to finish that sentence. So LeFay is a comic book about a private investigator. The way it's sold, and I don't really like this, but I understand why it's phrased this way because you're using an established character's name to kind of give people the immediate impression of what's going on. If Jessica Jones was a Fey sorceress, I like thinking of it as, what if Morgana LeFay or Morgan LeFay, whatever name you like for her, the Arthurian character, was cast into the future, depowered, and became a private investigator in an urban fantasy world. And she had some self-destructive habits, like drinking. There you go. Either way, it's about the same. Let's just flip over here. You can see, boom, there's the campaign. I think this campaign wrapped up a couple weeks ago. I remember I had it on my saved campaign list, and because I kind of went back and forth, and ultimately I decided not to back it at that time. I kind of regret that now because I've read these two issues and short version of the review. Short version, I liked it. One thing I'm going to do a lot of in the course of this review to try to minimize showing stuff I don't want to show is I'm going to flip over to my little winter scene here, and you can see these other books from Evolution Publishing. No Sleep is an imprint of them. I don't know what the purpose of the imprint is, but you can see I've read their books before: Angelica Reigns, Kasai Homecoming, Ruby and the Warriors of Dion, SFC. I got some of these books. I got these off of Kickstarter 2 years ago or so. So we're going to flip over to this scene anytime I'm gonna go through and find the page I want, just because I don't want to accidentally show something. I also want to zoom way in. So let me flip back here, and let's zoom way in. Try to maximize control. Now the first page, when you open the book up, and I'm not talking about the inside cover credits page. I'm talking the first page of the book is this. You got this farmhouse somewhere. We got a farmhouse. Dude in boots. He's got a cape. No, it's a cloak. Look, there's a hood, apparently. And he kicks down a door. One kick, he's broke the door in half. And he's doing some bad stuff. We got gunfire. We've got magic. The magic sets him on fire. It's a robbery. It is a robbery. This is a good punchy way to start your story. It's like James Bond movies where they have that scene where James Bond does something incredible, and then boom! You cut to the title screen, and then you get into the actual story. Now, in this case, we're not just doing something incredible that's unrelated. We're doing something that's exciting, leaves a lot to the imagination, and pulls you in. It makes you go, man, who's this guy? Who's this guy? What did he take? Then we skip back here. We go back in time 1,000 years or so, and we get backstory. And a little bit of action. As if kicking a door in wasn't like a nice little punch of action there. Here, we're getting some backstory. Morgan LeFay is busy battling Merlin. They're having a great engagement. They're busy magicking the crap out of each other. It's pretty dope. It's a good time. It introduces you to the character. So you get her backstory. Let's see, where's this at? No, I am not a good person. I get that, believe me. And so you get this key kind of stuff about her character, who she is, all the things she's done. Come on. There was hanky-panky going on between these two, and she's busy trying to kill him. This is just how it goes. Let me flip over here because we're going to skip the rest of the backstory pages. I don't want to show any of that off. And we're going to zoop up to here. And oh, you know what? You know what? I should probably get like a little tiny notepad window because I just realized I think maybe I see what I got flagged for, but man, you gotta like squint to see it. All right, so we'll just cover this up. Yeah, there's a little. It wasn't just like the side angle. There was just like this little hint of like something there. I'm not gonna say the words because I don't want to get in trouble. But this is how we pick up. She's very much like living in that Jessica Jones kind of lifestyle. She's waking up next to a stranger. Where's my phone? Who is this dude? I like to pretend this sleeping around business is a recent development as a result of my current situation in life, but no, if I'm being completely honest, I've always been a bit of a slapper. So she's mean to him. She's like, "Oh, what's wrong with me? I used to have standards. You're not even cute." It kind of tells you, like, if you didn't believe what they said at the beginning of the book about her not being a good person, this kind of drives it home. There's some definite, like, some self-destructive behavior here. She doesn't even really remember like hooking up with him or anything. Like that says a lot. There's a spilled bottle of alcohol on the nightstand. Um, kind of a mess. Absolutely kind of a mess. I'd show the rest of this page, but I'd have to move that little notepad box around, and I'm not gonna play super games. Oh, I do gotta say she's a little more Zaftig than I kind of would have expected, just based on. Oh man, you know what movie I really love? Excalibur. You ever see that thing? That's a great movie. Um, might not want to watch it with your kids or something, just because there's some weird stuff in there, but it's a great movie. And so when I think of Morgan Le Fay, that's what I think she looks like, the way that character did. But let me get back here to the book. She's got this dude right here. Cool hat. He's a little hobgoblin, apparently. Looks like a very short person. He's her assistant. So we meet a lot of like characters in the 8 or so pages that I skipped. We meet the people she works for who gave her this job. This job, which is to go investigate a murder. So she goes in to that farmhouse. Remember, we saw this farmhouse right here back at the beginning of the story. So she goes there and goes inside. In the intervening pages, we actually see what causes all this blood. I think that's actually a little bit of a mistake in the ordering of the pages. We should have cut to this, and then they do some divination later. And I think after that would have been a better time to include like the absolutely brutal stuff that happens. That's why I'm not showing it. It's absolutely brutal. I don't want to show it to you now. I want you to read it and go, whoa, when you see it. All right? But I think his opinion right here, this is a proper mess, is in fact the correct one. It is, in fact, a proper mess. Look at this, man. It's messy. This dude's got like a skull. The skull like reads their future or reads like what happened here. It's awesome. Um, you can see like definitely detective story stuff here. She's narrating here all the time, and then and all these footprints. Only one set of boots. So we're looking at a soul assailant. Oh man, there's another place when I was on the stream. I forget where it was. I'm probably not going to find it again. And it might have been in the next issue. I don't remember. But I totally found there was a place where there was another typo. It was like B-E, the word or something was like at the end of the line. And then it was like the same word, like the correct word was down on the next line. It's one of those typos that happens when you're just casually reading something because you don't read. It's like putting a the, and one the's on one line, the next the's on the other line. It's a real easy typo to miss. Very hard to catch. Um, this is just kind of awkward English. I guess it's not totally incorrect because you could say the sentence this way, but it's still awkward. So we're looking at soul assailant. Should be at a soul assailant. One thing that kind of helps, I find, when proofreading is you just read the stuff out loud. Whatever. But we get a little bit of detective work here. They figure some stuff out. We're going to skip the rest of this issue. I don't want to spoil too much, but they have a guess at who the villain is. And the villain was there to take something. And then they're kind of left wondering at the end of this issue. I mean, we saw it at the beginning. He had that little carrier with something in it, right? And so we're just kind of introduced to whatever that is, and we're left wondering what that was, what these people were killed for. Cool. Let me flip over here, because I don't remember if I'm on the front cover. I am on the front cover. Perfecto. So here we go. LeFay. Got this cool looking cover. Oh, I don't think I mentioned on the previous one, but I really like the little halftone or zipatone, whatever you want to call it, effect here for the shading and stuff. I think the zipatone looks absolutely fantastic. I kind of wish the interior, when it was colored, had that same effect. I think it would have been great. Oh, hey, the credits page is cool because this also shows like the people she works for. These three witches right here. We're going to come back to them just a little bit later in the story because I'm going to show some of the brutality of this book off. Oh, let's just show the credits too while we're right here. There you go. Credits have been shown. I'm going to click away. We're going to zoom down because I really can't show you like the next 4 pages. There is a lot of nudity and stuff going on. And I also want to skip over the villain being really monstrous. I don't want to show any of that on stream or on video. I hope you can understand. And I don't really know if he's like the villain, but the guy that did the murders. Like, I just don't want to show it because it's brutal. What he does is just, it's very objectionable, which, to be fair, he's a bad person. So here they are. Look at this cute little car they're driving. These people like raise these monkeys to sell. They're really cute looking monkeys. Look at that. Look at those big eyes. How can you resist those big eyes? And so she's talking like, hey, I know a cop in the town. We can get a favor. Old boyfriend, how'd you know? And apparently, like, literally everybody in the country is her ex-boyfriend or something. I don't know. But that's funny. But the main reason I want to show this page is to show that they're not the only ones investigating. In fact, by the end of this book, we've got... See, by the end of the first one, we had, let's see, her, the witches that she works for, and some mysterious other party at the very end of the book who gets into a lot of trouble with the villainous character, all looking for this thing. And now we're here, and we've got these really cool looking people. She reminds me of a character from an old cartoon, and I don't remember if the cartoon was named The Borrowers, but you know, it's a cartoon about like little people, and they like live under somebody's house, or animated film, The Secret World of Arietti. You know the stories I'm talking about, I hope. But she kind of reminds me of something like that. Very cute. I love the way the ears look on these two characters. It's fantastic. I like the little pointed upturned nose. Looks great. The hair coming through the helmet is just fun. It's a great design. It absolutely is. And here they are. They're small. How do you know? Look at that. It's a mouse. Here they are riding. Him riding a big mouse. Her riding a bird. I'm not sure in reality this bird would be soaring like that, this close to the ground, but what do I know about bird flight? I don't know. It's a very cool, very dramatic looking page. I like it. Let me click away for just a second, and we'll come down to here, because, you know what? You know what? Never mind. We're going to show this. I got to show this, because it's just cool looking. It's just cool looking. Presented with no context. Just some cool looking dudes, alright? So this is like the 4th... No, these are related to the guy at the end of the first issue I didn't talk about who went to buy the thing. So this is one of our factions of characters that are all hunting for this thing. It's kind of like Ronin, man. If you've ever seen that movie, you know, everybody wants what's in the suitcase, you know? And who's going to get it? Who's going to end up with the suitcase? I don't know. Let's see. Yes, I wanted to show page 10. That's this one. She goes in here. This is more character building. Now, a lot of comic books have stuff like this where people are just sitting around drinking coffee or whatever. And sometimes I roll my eyes at that sort of thing. It's a very modern invention. But this actually works pretty well because you learn a lot about her character here. Here she is having coffee, boozing it up. And she basically browbeats him because he just wants to, you know, hang out with her, go on a little date. And she just browbeats him into, give me the files. She's an abusive character. She's totally a lush. We see a lot about her right here. Her body language tells us a lot. Uh, Tells us about as much as her words. Yeah. So we can see she lives up to what she said at the beginning. I'm not a nice person. So she totally uses him to look at the file. We see a little bit of the monster. Let's see that everybody's after. And what can I show here? Um, you know what? I think I'll just show this one row right here. Because maybe the stuff that's right up above here is what got me in trouble. I don't know. But she basically cuts this dude's face off to feed to her. These three witches definitely have kind of the classic triumvirate going on. If you know like Norse myth, you've got like the Norns, the Weird Sisters, um, the Fates to the Greeks. You've got like the Old One, the crone, you've got the mother, and you've got the maiden, the young one. And so we've got all three of them here. Um, so these are her bosses, basically, that sent her on this job, and they're getting ready to go spy on her and stuff. And this whole like sequence here tells us that these people are also not very good people. I don't think there are actually any good people in this entire world here. That as we just gotta go through the motions of all this stuff. This world is brutal. This is actually one of the less brutal things I can show you in the book. The villain that stole the case, the guy at the very beginning that did the stuff that we're investigating here, he's even more brutal than what they're doing. It's ridiculous. It's a little like stomach churny, which is probably the point. Let me zip down to page, let's see, 23, because I don't want you to think that this book is just like all talk, because we do get a little bit of action. There's some stuff and things I didn't show you, mainly like the one villain dude I keep referring to as the villain dude, because I don't want to spoil who he is. Like, he goes and he does some stuff at the very beginning of this book, and then we get this sequence where this dude like is all rolling in, they're interrupting the party, sick and like cool little flying imp monsters shooting awesome like pink magic whatever. I guess those are the imps. I'm not really sure. It just looks cool. The only thing I really have to say about this sequence, because it's fun, is I wish it had gone on maybe just a little bit longer, and also I wish the coloring for this crazy magic stuff happening was maybe a little bit crazier. I really appreciate the way Tamara Bonvillain's colors work in Once and Future. That series I've done reviews for. Anytime like the other world is present, it's just full of like these gorgeous, eye-popping, brilliant greens and purple pinks and stuff. It really makes it stand out. All I'm saying is I wish that this had been a way stronger color pink, like something that just kind of saturated the eyeballs. And maybe in print it looks stronger. Maybe this is just an artifact of how it looks on my screen. I don't know. So all in all, I've been trying to dance around like exactly what's happening here. These are my notes I'm crumpling up to try to avoid telling you too much about like the story. It's a urban fantasy detective story, and if that is your jam, you should just stop whatever you're doing and go find like Evolution Printing and go buy this thing. I kind of regret, after having read both of these, I kind of regret not backing this campaign. There we go. One thing, I wasn't expecting the amount of like 18 plus kind of stuff. There was a lot more Ghibli bits, if you know what I mean, than I was really expecting. A lot more explicitness than I was expecting. And maybe I shouldn't have gone into it not thinking of that, because I scrolled down through the campaign a little bit before recording this, and there's like naughty covers and stuff listed down there. So maybe I should have gone into this kind of expecting that kind of content. I wasn't. It was a little bit of a surprise. So if you are going to track this down, please be 18 or older. And last time I ended this video, when I was doing it live, I gave a thumbs up at the end, and then immediately after is when I got hit with that community guideline strike. So you're not getting a thumbs up or anything. I'm not even going to wave. I'm not flipping the webcam back on over there. I'm just going to say goodbye, take care of yourselves, And I sure hope to see you again next time. And you should go check this book out. You can, if you search for LeFay #2, or you search for Evolution, um, you can find it. Marcel Dupré on Twitter. Like, let me click away for just a second so I can zip back up to the top and see if the credits have a website that you can visit. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. If you want more information, you can check this out right there. So check it out. This gets it's intriguing, and I want to see more from me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. All right, have a great one, and bye bye.